Am I live? Yes, I am. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Anna. This is English Like a Native, and today we are learning English around the subject of football. So we're going to be learning British English football vocabulary, pronunciation, and phrases that we generally use. We're just going to talk about the beautiful game of football. So if you are here, say hello, let me know that you have joined, and tell me where in the world you are watching from. Let me know that you can hear me all right and that you can see me all right. So while I'm waiting for everyone to join in, I'm just going to let you know that I will be here for around an hour at least, so make sure you are sitting comfortably. Make sure that you have a beverage, maybe a nice hot cup of tea or a coffee, or perhaps you're having a nice cool juice or glass of refreshing water to make sure you're hydrated. Hello everyone joining me now. Hello in Qatar. Hello in Jordan. Hello in Saudi. Hello Maddie, how are you? Lovely for you to join me. I'm here in London today. Always, I'm in London. This is where I live. It's a beautiful sunny day today and I am feeling very happy. Thank you for asking, Julia. I'm very well. Hello, Tong from Vietnam. Dave, hi. I'm here and I can see and hear you great. Thank you very much. Israfil from Turkey and Kurdistan, hi. Maddie's in India, Algeria. Glad that you can join me here. Hello in Lebanon, Canary Islands. Fabulous. So many of you all over the world. Well, if you are here, then give me a thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed. And maybe share this with your football crazy friends. If you have any friends that like football, then maybe click the share button and share this on your social networks, and let's get those football fans in and have a good old football discussion. I'm sure this is going to create lots of discussion because lots of people around the world love this game. Now, before we do get right into it, I'm going to let you know that this video is sponsored by italki. And if you don't know, italki is a fantastic website that connects students with fabulous language teachers all over the world. And when I say language teachers, I'm not just talking English. They teach any language you would want to know. There are teachers there to support your language learning journey. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is, if you're really desperate to become fluent, learning with a person, with an actual person, is one of the most effective ways to fluency. Human teachers are the best way to learn. You'll make much more progress working with a human teacher one-on-one, and you can customize those lessons with italki as well. I think they're fabulous. They are sponsoring this video, so I'm not telling these things I don't let anyone just sponsor my videos, is what I'm trying to say. I think they're fabulous. And also, they've agreed to give $10 in italki credits when you make your first purchase. So if you are interested, then you can basically get a lesson for free when you buy your first one. If you're interested, the link is in the description box below. They definitely get my seal of approval, so why not go and check them out? At least take a look. The link's there for you to go and look at. Otherwise, let me know which football team you support. Do we have anyone here who supports English football teams? Obviously, I think everyone here probably supports their own country's team. But which football team do you support if you support an English football team? That'd be interesting to know. Lots of people ask me which team I support. I used to support, or maybe I should tell you at the end. I'll tell you at the end. Maybe you can guess and I'll tell you at the end. Obviously, I support England in the World Cup. But, okay, so I've got a few Arsenal fans in. I've got a Leicester fan in, a Man United fan in, Real Madrid. Okay, not an English one, but we'll move on to world teams in a moment. Arsenal, Liverpool, lots of Arsenal fans, goodness me. Chelsea. The matter fact, I don't know anything about football. As a matter of fact, I don't know anything about football. That's cool. We're going to learn. We're going to learn together. All right. Edgar supports Arsenal. Anna, I've supported Manchester United for 20 years. I have supported Manchester United for 20 years. Excellent. I support Arsenal in England and Barcelona out of the whole world. Manchester United, Liverpool. Gosh, there's lots of Man U, Liverpool and Arsenal fans here and Chelsea fans. All right, let's get straight into it. I'm not going to pretend that I know lots about football because I don't. But maybe we can discover stuff together. But I do know the basics. I can have a basic chat about football. I used to play football when I was younger. I was captain of the girls' team at college. So I was an attacker. I was quite a go-getting, athletic woman in college. And I used to play football for college, for the college team. I was captain and I would lead my team to victory, although not very often. Okay, so football. If you play football, you are a footballer. Shall I get my board out and start writing on my board? You are a footballer. And you're either going to play in, one of three positions, basically, in general. So football. A footballer may play as an attacker. They may be an attacker. So they're at the front of the pitch. They're the people who score the goals, who get the glory. They're an attacker. You could be a midfielder. A midfielder, that means you play in the midfield area, so you play around the middle of the pitch. And you may also play in defence. So you would be a defender. A defender. So do you play football? And if you do, even if it's just as a hobby, are you an attacker, a midfielder, or a defender? And you would answer that with, I am a or an. I am an attacker. I am a midfielder. I am a defender. Or she, he is a, an. So what are you? Tell me. I like American football. Oh, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. It might be a little bit weird, but I hate football. That's okay. The beauty of the world is that we don't all have to be the same and we don't all have to like the same things. So Mohammed says, I am an attacker. Excellent. So you play in attack. You are in the attack position. I am box to box player. I don't know what that means. I am a midfielder. Roslan. Great. I enjoy watching the game, but I've never played. Cool. Anna, you're a very nice teacher. Thank you very much. I am Kemi says, I am a defence. You'd say, I am a defender. Make sure you get that on the end. I am a defender, midfielder. I am an attacker. You can also say, I play in defence. I play in the midfield. Although I've never heard that actually. I play in defence. I play in defence, I hear all the time. He plays in defence. Would you say, has anyone heard, I play midfield, I play midfield, I play in the midfield? I think you say, I play midfield. I play in defence, I play midfield, and I play in attack. Oh gosh, are people getting upset because I haven't answered their questions? Anna, can I say offender for attacker? No, you can't say offender. To offend is different than to attack. See, we don't have offenders in football unless they're involved in some sort of upset. Then they would be potentially an offender and a victim. But we don't use the word offender really with football. So you are an attacker and that's it. Okay? Hello, hello. So, there are other people, obviously, in football besides attackers, midfielders, and defenders. Sometimes you might be chosen to be the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper. Look at that pronunciation. Goal. G, g. Obviously, it looks different. Some people say goal, but it's goal. Goalkeeper. When I was at school, nobody wanted to be the goalkeeper. Everybody wanted to be the attackers, the striker. So that's another position. You could be a striker. The striker is the person who's right at the front, who tries to score the goals. So not many people wanted to be the goalkeeper at school, and it was usually the last person. The person who drew the short straw. That's what we call it. You draw the short straw. If you end up doing something you don't want to do, you draw the short straw. And they ended up being the goalkeeper. And it's their job to protect the goal. The goalie, the goal. to stop people from scoring. We don't want any goals to be scored against us, so we put a goalkeeper in to protect the net. To protect the net. Julia says, will you be watching Eurovision tomorrow? I have a lot of work tomorrow, so I might have it on in the background, yes. I have a feeling that the UK will get 0 points. Goalkeepers can use their hands. Yes, of course they can. They have to catch the ball. So you might be a goalkeeper. Some people love being goalkeepers. I think it's a lot of standing around. It depends how good your team is. So I said before, you might be a striker. No, striker. You might be the captain. What else? You might be a substitute. And you might be a manager, football manager. So these are just some general terms around what you might do in football. So you might be the striker, the person who scores the goals. We've already talked about that. You may be the captain, the football captain. That's the person who, it's one of the players. It's usually one of the better players who, well, what do they do? What does the captain do? The captain makes decisions. They decide who's going to take penalties, I think. They help the morale of the team. The morale is the general feeling. If there is good morale, it means there's a good feeling, good energy around the team. So it's someone who helps to lift the morale of the team, who leads the team. I was team captain when I was at college. I was a leader. I was like, come on, guys, we're going to do this. Hey, I'm from Manchester. I'm a defender. What about you? I was an attacker. I was a striker. Great. Okay, so captain, and then you might be a substitute. And this means that you are brought in as a backup. So you're not playing straight away. You might not play at all. You just sit on the bench at the side of the game and you watch, and you hope that at some point you'll get substituted in, that you'll get exchanged with one of the players on the pitch and that you can go and play. So you might be a sub or a substitute. I'm going to teach you one phrase in football, park the bus, when one team play very defensively without intention to attack. Okay, I didn't know that one. So to park the bus, apparently. Park the bus when you play defensively and you don't really attack the other team. And finally, we've got a football manager. The football manager doesn't play football, and they tend to just manage the team. They might do it very well and they might not do it very well. We always see the managers at the side of the pitch looking very stressed or angry or jumping around with excitement. So a football manager. So those are the different types of roles that you might have within a team. So we talk about the team because it is a team game. So let's talk about the places. Let's have a very quick. Since my illness, I'm always a substitute. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mohammed. Hello, if you're just joining me, nice of you to be here. Thank you. We are talking about football, and we're talking about English football, British football, not American football. There is a very big difference. It's a completely different game, in fact. So Americans talk about football, but their football is a different shape and it's a different game. They hold the ball and they run with it and they bang each other over, and they wear the big helmets and they throw, and they have to, their goals are up in the air and they have to touch down and stuff like that. It's kind of similar to our game of rugby, I think. Don't send me loads of nasty comments if I'm completely wrong there. But American football is a very different game. Americans call our version of football soccer. So Americans call the football where you kick the ball with your feet and you don't touch it, they call that soccer. We don't really call it soccer, we call it football. So if an American and a Brit are together talking about football, then they might be getting confused with each other. So I'm talking today about British football, soccer, if you would like. But we don't tend to say soccer here. We know what the term is, but we don't use it. We say football or footy. Footy, footy. Do you want a game of footy? I'm going to go and play footy. And that's F-O-O-T-Y, footy. Krishna's also saying American football is similar to rugby, isn't it? I think so. I think it is. Okay, so football. Where do we play football? Well, we would generally talk about the football pitch. The football pitch. So the actual game takes place on a pitch. Now, it should really be a grass pitch, but sometimes it's not. It would normally be grass. So the pitch. Sometimes you might hear people talk about it as the football field. But I think that is used more when we're talking about American football. American football, they go out onto the field. But more often in the UK, we talk about the pitch. So we're on the pitch. But we can sometimes say the football field. Okay? So the place where your team, when you're playing professional football, the place where your team are based would be the stadium. Well, hopefully you'll have a stadium. If you're a rich football club, a stadium. And you might also hear people talking about the football grounds, which is just the same thing, really. The grounds, football grounds. The violent football fans are not allowed on the grounds. They're no longer allowed on the football grounds, but they can attend other stadiums. So that's what you might hear. So stadiums and grounds. Do you know of any famous football stadiums? Can you name any famous football stadiums? Put it in the comments. Let's see if any of you know of any famous stadiums. Some great comments here, guys. So yeah, sometimes the pitch is artificial and not grass. So sometimes you play on astroturf. At school, we had to play on concrete, which is not good for your knees, and it's not good when you fall over. Shehan says, "Can I have your mug?" I love my mug. You guys know how much I love my mug. I would be very upset if I broke my mug. There is a link, I think. Did I ever put it in this time? There's a link in the... Yes, I have. There's a link for a similar one in the description, but I couldn't find this exact one. But it is similar. Okay, so some football stadiums that you might know of are Old Trafford. Old Trafford is the Manchester United stadium, isn't it? You have De Meer Stadium. That's for Amsterdam. The Barcelona Stadium. Can I say I'm going to the stadium? Yes, of course you can. Why basketball is not played in England? It's a good sport too. We do play basketball here. We just don't really have a big national following for the sport. But we do play basketball at schools. Yeah. I don't know why particularly it's more popular in America and not so popular here. I don't know. What kind of tea are you drinking? I'm drinking peppermint tea. Okay, so let's move on. So on the actual football pitch, right? Let's draw a football pitch. So a pitch, of course, is like a rectangle. And you have the halfway line, half, although it has an L, it's silent, so we don't say half, it's halfway line. And you have the centre circle, where we begin the game, and the centre spot. It's where you have kickoff, where we start the game is called kickoff. So the game, sometimes we call it a match as well. Well, most of the time we call it a match. So what time does the match start? What time does the match kick off? The match will kick off at 2 o'clock. We have kick-off at 2 o'clock. So we have the halfway line, the centre circle. Sometimes this is the sideline, but sometimes this is called the touch line. Is that right? I thought that was American. Is this sideline called the touch line? Any avid football fans here know this one? Can I say that Britons have a football fetish? Sure, you can say that. You can try and say that. Should I try and get the comments up on the screen? Would you like to have your comments up on this screen? I wonder if I can do that. Just bear with me a second. I'll see if I can do something special here, so then we can all see these comments. Pop out chat. Right. Move that to there. Pick a window. Select. Yes. Okay. So then if I choose oh, B, you can see B. Just bear with me. Bear with me, I'm nearly there. No, I can't. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. No, I can't do it, guys. Let's change this template back to full screen. Oh well, I thought I could maybe get the chat up on the on this screen, but I don't know how to do it. Sorry. I know you can see the comments now, but when this video is no longer live, then people can't see the comments and they don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so The kickoff from the centre spot. We have obviously the goal. So you'll have your own goal and the opposition goal, and you'll have the little box around the goal, won't you? Oops. Oopsie. And this is called the 6-yard box. The 6-yard box. And yes, and that's where the goalkeeper lives here. So many people joke about the offside rule. The offside rule, it's one of those things that many people say they know the offside rule or they don't know the offside rule, and they argue about the offside rule. The question is, do you know the offside rule? Do you actually know the offside rule? Huh? Do you? Really? I'm going to attempt to describe to you the offside rule as far as I know it. I might be wrong. The offside rule is if the last defender, so this is the green team, this is their goal. Here is a defender and lots of other players up around here. If the last defender, if the other team who are red, if you as a player are closer to the goal than the last defender, when the ball is in play, actively kicked to you, so your team member has the ball and he's going to pass it to you, that way, he's going to pass it to you, and you're here beyond this line, at the point where that's passed, you are offside. So you must go back over here to be onside. So that, as far as I know, is the offside rule. Am I right? Am I wrong? But that, as far as I know, is the offside rule. You cannot be beyond this line when the ball is being played to you. It has to be played to you here, and then you can move. So that's, I might be completely wrong. But there we go, that's the offside rule. Of course, if you're offside, then you're going to get into trouble, but you want to be onside. We don't say onside very often, we say usually offside. No onside. All right, so to make sure that you're not breaking any rules and to keep everything flowing smoothly, we have another job that needs filling, and that is the job of the referee. Sometimes referred to as simply ref. Ref. Oh, lots of you are saying, you're right. Oh, some are saying sort of, but there is a bit more to it. Okay, well, at least I'm right. At least I'm not wrong, telling you the wrong things. So we have a referee. Referee. Or ref. Some people might be, come on, ref. What are you talking about, ref? Open your eyes, ref. And a ref or referee usually wears black, and he has a whistle, and he has cards and a book. If he sees something that's not quite right, the referee will blow his whistle and he'll do lots of arm signals to say something's not right and we must do something about it. So the kind of things that he might do is he might call a free kick. So he might say, someone's done something wrong, so this is now a free kick. Free kick. He might also, he might book you. So to be booked is to be written down in his little book. So you're basically getting into trouble. You get written down in his little book, and he'll show you either a yellow card or a red card. A yellow card is a warning, and a red card means that you're off. As far as I'm aware, you can get 2 yellow cards and then you're off. So 1 yellow card, a warning. If you get another yellow card, then you're off. You can only get 1 red card. If you're red carded, you're straight off. Is that right?
Yep.
Yep. My housemate is a big football fan. So it's all right to get 1 yellow card, perhaps, but you don't want to get 2, and you certainly don't want to get a red card, because also that means that you may be suspended for the next couple of games, or from the next game. Shin 31 Jimmy, booked equals carded. Yes, but we don't say carded. Is to get a card, you get booked. So you'll notice he'll do his card and then he'll write a note in his book. So you're booked. He was booked. But we don't say carded. If you get a red card or 2 yellow cards, then you're probably going to be suspended. You'll certainly be sent off the pitch. Sent off the pitch. You might hear commentators, the people who talk over a match, who tell you what's going on. Commentators might say, he got sent off, or that was a sending off. That was a sending off he just received. To be sent off. To be dismissed. That's right, from the game. Good. Good. Okay. So let's just look at the pronunciation. The reason that you're probably going to get a red or yellow card is for a foul. This happens a lot. Foul. Foul. I want you to imagine a little W in there. Foul. Foul. And then we do an L. Foul. Foul. So you don't want to be fouled by anyone, and you don't want to foul another member of the opposition. Yes, good, good. We're all together, doing really, really well. Excellent. So, 97 of you in. Lovely. Can we say sending to the locker room? The thing is, if you get sent off, I don't think it necessarily means that you go to the locker room. Some people that get sent off just go to the benches. So I wouldn't use the phrase sent to the locker room, because I think they potentially can just stay at the side of the pitch. I don't know. I've not heard that phrase myself. Alicio, how do I pronounce that? I'm not sure. Alrighty, so someone who might help the referee is a little man or woman at the side of the pitch, and they are called the linesman. A linesman. That S is like a Z. Linesman. A linesman. And the linesman will say whether someone's offside or whether the ball has actually crossed the line. You'll see them holding up the little flag, saying, referee. It's basically an assistant to the referee. Serdar says, you know everything about football, but you aren't a big fan. It's interesting. I don't know a lot about football at all, really. I think when you are surrounded by football a lot, you pick up some of the basics. Angie says, linesman, lines lady. I think just a blanket description, linesman for everyone, linesman. It's like, I am an actress, but most people would call me an actor. In some job descriptions, it's just the same for everyone. Linesman, men or women. Okay, so we have common injuries. Common injuries. So while I just write a few of these things on the board, have you ever been fouled playing football, or have you ever seen someone? Have you fouled someone? Have you ever been booked? Tell me. I used to foul people quite a lot. Not on purpose, it was because I was passionate and I would run at them so fast that I wouldn't be able to stop, and I just hit them. So I was not very good to play football with, because I tend to foul people. What do we have? So common injuries. You might hear about hamstring injuries, calf injuries, and groin injuries. sprain, strain, tear. Yeah, I think that's about it. So common injuries that you'll hear footballers struggling with would be hamstring injuries. Your hamstring is the muscle down the back of the thigh, down the back of your upper leg. Down the back of your upper leg is your hamstring. So you might hear the commentators saying, his hamstring has been playing up, playing up. So we have playing up. This means that it's not been behaving like it should. If something is playing up, it's not working like it should work. For example, if my car is playing up, my car might be suddenly losing power or losing acceleration. Maybe it won't turn on in the morning. When I try to switch the car on, maybe it won't turn on sometimes. So it's playing up. If a child plays up, it means they behave badly. If they're naughty and they have tantrums, they are playing up. And I'll say, stop playing up. If my watch is playing up, maybe it starts to run slow or the second hand starts ticking backwards. And I go, my watch is playing up. And so if we're talking about injuries, they might say his hamstring has been playing up. So his hamstring has been giving him little problems, hurting sometimes and then being fine and then hurting the next day. So playing up. So you might have a hamstring strain or sprain. These are pretty much the same thing, just a sore muscle from overuse. Or maybe they haven't warmed up properly. They might have a tear, which is a rip. They might have a rip in the muscle or the tendon. You might pull your hamstring, really good. Yes, you might have a pull. So to pull your muscle, I pull my muscles all the time. It's the same as straining them or spraining them, to pull your muscle. You might get a dislocation. Some of you have said dislocation. You might dislocate your joint. So you might dislocate your hip. You might dislocate your knee. Ouch, painful. You might dislocate your shoulder if you fall badly. You might dislocate a toe, perhaps, or a finger. You might get cramp. Great, really great suggestions here. Cramp is obviously very short-lived. It doesn't last very long. But it's when your muscle tenses up and it won't stop and it's very painful. Cramp, cramp. Hello, M squared, how are you? Thank you for joining us. So we might talk about the hamstring or the calf. The calf is the muscle in the lower leg. That L is silent. Calf, calf. So we don't want to say calf. It's nice and open. Calf. Or you might sprain the groin. The groin is high up between your legs, around your nether regions. So right up in between the legs. If you are not warmed up or you stretch too much, you might pull or strain your groin. Very painful. Very painful. Of course, you might break a bone is another thing. You might break your leg or break your foot. You might get a fracture, which is a crack and not a full break, but still very, very painful. Is it right to say muscular sprain? What does sprain mean? It's interesting, isn't it? Why don't one of you quickly now, could one of you look on the Cambridge Dictionary, type in sprain and see what it comes back with? To sprain a muscle. For me, it's like, I would say it's the same as pulling a muscle. It's just to hurt it. And the muscle is fatigued, tired, maybe overstretched, and that's a sprain. But look up the actual definition, it might help. What is the word when your body is cold and you need to warm your muscles to begin with? So to warm the muscles before the game, which everyone should do, is simply called warm up. I need to warm up. Did you warm up? No, I didn't warm up, and that's why I pulled my hamstring. I might pull my hamstring again if I don't warm up next time. So you warm up. We don't say warming, we say warm up every time. Stretch and warm up. And when you've finished, you should also cool down. Sometimes people say warm down, but usually cool down. You need to cool down, warm down. Sprain, verb. To cause an injury to a joint. Oh, okay. By sudden movement. Does it talk about, so you only sprain joints? Can you not sprain muscles? So is a strain, muscle strain and joint sprain? Is that the difference? I love these sessions. We all learn, even me, we all learn together. Okay, so has that answered all your questions? Yes, okay. So to sprain is to cause an injury to the joint. So I sprained my knee or I sprained my ankle. Okay. Some of you are saying warming up is as important as cooling down. Yes, yes, it absolutely is. It's important that you do cool down after you've played a hard game. All right, so let's move away from injuries. Let's go on to happier things. Obviously, once you have injured yourself, then you need some time to recover. Someone might say, he's in recovery. Where is he? I haven't seen him for weeks. He's in recovery. He is recovering from his injury. Recovering from his injury. So I am recovering from a nasty fall at gymnastics last week. I'm recovering from a, what would we call it? A twisted ankle. I'm recovering from a nasty twisted ankle. I've got to go. It's 10 p.m. in China now. Thanks, Anna. Thanks. Good night. Thank you for watching. I don't have many Chinese people watching. Well, not from China anyway. Because I know that not everyone in China can get YouTube, which is sad. Makes me sad. Okay, so what does a football team wear? What do they wear? Obviously, they wear their special football uniform. We call it a kit. Or a strip. So a football kit is normally what you'll hear. Football kit. You might sometimes hear strip. We have a new strip has just been released. Have you seen the new strip? Have you seen the new Man U strip? It's really cool. Most of the time they'll say, grab your kit, get your kit on. Have you seen the new kit? I don't like their new kits. The colour is awful. So kit is what we normally say. And that kit will comprise of shorts, a t-shirt. Sometimes the t-shirt may be short-sleeved or long-sleeved, depending if it's cold or not. So you have football shirts, football shorts, obviously football socks that usually come up to the knee. We have football boots. To protect you from the studs on football boots, because football boots are studded, aren't they? You have studs which help you to not slip on the grass. To protect you from that, you might wear shin pads. I don't think it's one word actually. Shin pads. Shin pads to protect your shins. So pads that go on the fronts of your lower legs to protect your shin bone from studs on people's football boots. And I think most players wear shin pads. So you might turn up to football and go, I brought my kit, but I forgot my shin pads. I hope I don't get any studs in the legs. In terms of kit, you might hear them talking about their home kit or their away kit, depending on where they're playing. If they're playing in their own studio, so if Manchester United are playing in Old Trafford, it's a home game and they're playing in their home kit. If England are playing in the World Cup and they're playing over in Barcelona, let's say, then they will wear their away strip or their away kit because they're playing an away game. They're playing an away game. Okay. Can we say suit footballer? No, not a football suit, I think is what you mean. No, we don't say a football suit. Oh, a goalkeeper will definitely need gloves. That's a good one. A jersey is American, not British. Yes, that's right. So they say jersey in America for a long-sleeved t-shirt. But in the UK, we just say a long-sleeved t-shirt. A long-sleeved t-shirt. So there's basically no difference between kit or strip. I don't think so. I did look at this yesterday, but I can't find a specific difference between strip and kit in this context. So, yes, just use kit is the safest option. Oh my gosh, or oh my god, you discuss a lot of new vocabulary with me. I have to use Google Translate. Thank you. Well, good. I'm glad I'm covering stuff that you don't know because that is helpful for your English language learning. If you are here and you're new here, then before we go any further, please do press that big red subscribe button. If you enjoy learning English with me or you're a fan of football, then please click the thumb button and give this video a like. The more you interact with this video, the more that YouTube will push it up the search ranking, and that's helpful for me. And so I would be very grateful if you could do that for me. Thank you. Okay, so of course when we're having a game of football, we have two teams. Only two teams play in one game. So two teams, one football pitch in a stadium, and in a normal game of football, you'll have 11 players. 11 players. Ooh. And two teams. But of course, we do also have five-a-side football, which is different. I'm going to call it five-a-side footy. Five-a-side footy. Football. So, what if you're saying 14? You have 14 players on a team. That's not right, is it? No. Okay, so you have three are referees and linesmen. So no, we're just talking about the actual team. So the actual team, so Manchester United will have 11 players on the pitch, and say Chelsea will have 11 players on the pitch. Johnny Wong, is it live now? Yes, it is. Welcome. Okay, so 11 players in a normal game of football, but sometimes you'll hear people talking about five-a-side football. Five-a-side football is not normally an international thing or a national thing. It's normally just kind of like county level, or maybe you and your friends will enter a local league, and it'll be normally a five-a-side league because it's easier to find 5 people for each side. So five-a-side football is kind of smaller, and it's played on usually AstroTurf pitches with nets up the sides. Smaller, five-a-side footy. For the hobby football players who do it as a hobby rather than a career. Anna, are you giving people one-to-one classes? I do offer additional teaching, but I will talk about that at the end because I don't want to bore anyone who already knows. Which is the correct pronunciation of the stadium? Anfield. 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 Okay, hope that helps. So it's a game with two teams, 11 players, and the game consists of 2 halves. So a normal football game will last for around 90 minutes. So the duration, how long it lasts, the duration of a game is 90 minutes. So it's 90 minutes long. It's broken down into 2 halves. And each half is 45 minutes each. Yeah, so 90 minutes long, 2 halves. Each half is 45 minutes. And then in between the 2 halves, you have, of course, half time. Now, in other spectator events, like if you go to a gig or a concert, if you go to watch a play, then this break in the middle will be called an interval. But in football, and potentially in other sports as well, this is called half time. So we reach half time. Sometimes in a normal situation, I might say, that's half time. Let's take a half time. I'm going to call half time, or I might say time out. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that a football manager or a player or even a referee can call time out in the middle of a game if something is wrong. They can call for time out. Is that right? So say if someone's seriously hurt and the referee wants to stop the game and they go like this, meaning T. Well, I can't do it so the camera can see. T, that means time out. And sometimes we say that in general. So if I'm having an argument with someone, my friend might come over and go, hey, time out. I'm calling half time on this argument. We'll come back to it later. I might be wrong, but do let me know. I think that's right. So they call a time out. So you have half time, and during half time you get your beverages and your snacks. All the comments have gone very quiet here. Either I'm not refreshing, or hopefully you've not lost me. I'll just double check. No, okay, great. Are you still with me? There we go. I got it. Okay, so at the end of the game, if there has been a timeout because someone hurt themselves, at the end of the game, the referee might add extra time. You might also hear this called stoppage time or injury time. Injury time? So you might hear all these extra bits being... So if there's any extra time played at the end, it might be extra time, stoppage time, or injury time. So if it goes longer than 90 minutes, usually it's like an extra 5 minutes or 3 minutes at the end. Extra time is when no one has scored, is that right? So when you get to full time, 90 minutes, we hit full time. We go to extra time, I think when nobody has scored, we have extra time. So an extra, I think, 5 minutes. We don't call it overtime. Overtime is not used in this scenario. Overtime is different. You would use overtime for work. If you work longer than you are contracted, you're working overtime. But you don't use it in football. We say extra time. If the game has been stopped because of people hurting themselves, then we might add some extra time to make up for that. So we'd have injury time, but also known as stoppage time. Injury time or stoppage time. Some of you saying extra time is 15 minutes. Okay. Oh, some of you saying extra time is 30 minutes. Okay. Well, okay. Cool. Even more time to score a goal and catch up. Great. So, hopefully when you are playing, you will score a goal and everyone will go crazy. Ah! With the t-shirts over their head, and they will celebrate. They will celebrate the score. So you score a goal. Score a goal is what we normally say. You score a goal. If someone scores a goal, if you let a goal in, you concede a goal. You don't want to concede a goal. And you certainly don't want to be the person who gets an own goal. It's very embarrassing if you get an own goal. An own goal is when you kick the ball into your own goal and it counts against you. I think I might have scored an own goal a couple of times. When it accidentally knocks off your foot and goes into your goal, and you're like, no! So that's an own goal. You don't want to score an own goal. So you score a goal, you concede a goal is to let a goal in. If you are ahead, so if you have won, so let's say Man U versus Man City, and Man U has no goals, but Man City has one, then you would say Man City is ahead, or Man City is in the lead. They're in the lead, is what we would normally say. Man City is in the lead. And then obviously the outcome can either be that someone wins, that you lose, or if the score is equal, it would be a draw. So Man City win, whoop, this way. Man U lose. Oh, we call Man United mostly. Manchester United is usually called Man U, much easier. And Man City, Manchester City is shortened to Man City, not Mancy, just Man City. We could call it a draw. It could be a tie. We could call it a tie, but mostly we would say draw. It was a draw between Man U and Man City today. If it was a competition like maybe the World Cup, if you lose and it means you're no longer in the competition, then you are knocked out. So you might hear commentators or news reporters saying it was a knockout win or a knockout lose for Man United. It was a knockout lose for Man United. It means they were knocked out of the competition when they lost the match. A knockout. A knockout. Okay, so yes, let's talk about penalties. So if it is a draw and we've had extra time, we've had injury and stoppage time, but it's still a draw, nobody's won, then we will go to penalties. We will go to penalties. And you'll decide who are the penalty takers. You take a penalty. How do I spell this? Penalty. So it's a penalty shootout. Sometimes people take penalties in the middle of a game if they've been fouled. So if someone fouls me, I don't know exactly the rules around it, but sometimes if something bad happens to me during a game, the ref might award me a penalty. And there's a penalty spot. You put the ball on the penalty spot and you try to score a goal. But if we get to the end of the game and nobody has won and we can't have a draw, if it's a knockout competition, for example, like not the Olympics, the World Cup, then we'd go to a penalty shootout. And the captain and maybe the manager will decide who the penalty takers are going to be. So who's going to take the penalties? Do you want to take a penalty? I'm scared of taking penalties. I'm good at taking penalties. I'll take a penalty. Okay, so Jana says a penalty is for fouling in the 6-yard area. Okay. Oh, cool. Okay, so a penalty shootout, no one can stand in the way of it. No defenders or anyone can be in the way. It's simply a moment between the shooter and the goalkeeper. And he just has to try and get the ball in the net. In the net. So when he takes his penalty, he's taking a penalty kick. You might hear that sometimes, to take a penalty kick. A penalty kick. Alrighty. So other words to describe things that you might do during a football match. Obviously, we have kick. We know kick. You might hear throw in. So throw in, where you stand on the sidelines and throw the ball into the pitch, into the play area, onto the pitch. So you might have a throw in. Oh, someone's mentioned a dive. It's bad to dive. So people dive when they're pretending that they've been fouled. So they dive as if someone's just put their foot out underneath them. And they dive to the ground. It's bad to be known as a diver. Or the goalkeeper might dive for the ball. That's good. The goalkeeper dives for the ball. You might hear a pass. Is when you send the ball from one player to another player on the same team. We pass the ball. You might hear the word dribble. To dribble the ball. Which is funny, right? Because the word dribble means when saliva comes out of your mouth and you're like, ugh, and you dribble. But we use the same word to mean moving with the ball. If you keep the ball at your feet and you move it around to go forward, you dribble the ball, to dribble the ball. You might shoot. So you aim and kick the ball towards the goal, you shoot. You might hear volley. And to volley is when the ball is in the air and you kick it while it's already in the air. So it's coming above you, you throw yourself back and you kick the ball. It's a volley. You might head the ball. So you might head the ball with your head. Head the ball. I don't know why that sound effect comes out. You head the ball. What else do we have? You might cross it. It's to literally send the ball across the pitch. And you might get clearance. You might clear the ball or look for clearance. Oh, my writing is getting terrible. Getting bad again. Clearance. So the keeper might call for clearance. If it's getting too close to the goalkeeper and he's getting nervous, he'll be like, just clear it. Clear the ball. And that means to kick it way, way out of play, like over to the other side or completely out. We got some good ones here by Shine 31 Jimmy says tackle. Tackle is to try to get the ball from the opposition. Save the ball. Course, to stop it from going into the goal, save it. You might block, which is again to stop. You might handle the ball. If you handle the ball, that's bad. So you'd call handball. Obviously, in our version of football, you're not allowed to touch the ball with your hand, and if you do, you'll get into trouble because it's handball. Handball, referee, handball. Okay. If you have the ball, your team has the ball, then you are in possession. You have possession of the ball. And you want to have possession of the ball. You might hear commentators talking about the team has lots of possession, but they're not doing anything with it. Or they need more possession if they're going to stand a chance of winning. They need to get possession of the ball and keep possession of the ball. All right, cool. So just talking about a few little phrases that you might hear when it comes to football. You might hear someone saying, get stuck in. Get stuck in. That means go for it. Don't stand on the sidelines. Get in there. Go and fight. Go and not fight, but go and play. Get stuck in. Go for it. So it's an enthusiastic call from a teammate saying, go for it. Get stuck in. You might hear the term switch play. To switch play is to change ends. So that normally happens at half time. So the United Kingdom, if there was such a team, might play on this side and hand plays on this side, and then at half time they switch play. They switch play, so they play on the opposite sides. If the goalkeeper catches the ball, you might hear people saying, great save, keeper. You have a nice mug. Thank you. I love my mug. If you hear someone calling man on or man up ya, man on or man up ya, should I write this down? Probably should. It means that someone on the other team is very close to you. So if you have the ball and I can see someone from the other team is coming up close behind you and you haven't noticed them, I might tell you by shouting, man on, or man up here. Man on is more common. Man up here is something we've heard more often recently. But if you hear this, it means someone on the opposite team is close, so be careful. Yeah. You might hear people saying, put it in the back of the net. He just couldn't put it in the back of the net. I need you to put it in the back of the net. Just put it in the back of the net. That means score. Just score a goal. You might hear people say, a kick around. Let's have a kick around. Let's have a kick around. And that just means let's play football. But it tends to be a bit more relaxed. If I say to you, hey, do you want to kick around? It might be just me and you with a football on a playing field, not even a football pitch, but a playing field near my house. Just the two of us, just kicking the ball and messing around. That's called a kick around. It can have any number of people for a kick around. It could be almost a proper game. But a kick around is playing football without any set rules or without taking it too seriously. A kick around. You might also hear in the same context a knockabout. Would you like a knockabout? Would you like a knock around? Do you want to knock the ball around? So a knock around or a kick around. While I'm playing, I might say, on me head or on my head. It means I'm ready to header it. So send the ball up so I can hit it with my head. On me head. So I'll give it a head. There I go with my sound effects again. And that's all I've got written down. A lot of you have been asking me about the singing. There's only one David Beckham. I don't know actually any songs. So the fans in the stadium tend to have a chant. They chant, don't they, from the stalls. They sing to inspire their team. I know that one of the, one of the ones up north sing, you'll never walk alone. They sing that one. Who's that? Is that Liverpool? Walk on with hope in your heart. But I don't know. But yeah, every club has a different chant, and I think one of them has we're forever blowing bubbles or something like that. I don't know. Stalls, Ricardo. I said stalls. It might not be the technical term, but stalls are where the people sit. They sit in the stalls. So the area where people, where the audience, the spectators sit to watch the game. It's definitely a term used in the theatres. I think it's used in football stadiums too. The stalls. Okay, cool. So I guess now it's time to mention the famous football clubs in the world. Who do you support? Let's give them a shout out. My housemate shouting Crystal Palace, Crystal Palace. Okay, so I'm going to give your team a shout out now. So mention your team in the comments. If you are new here and you've enjoyed this, please make sure you have pressed the subscribe button and the bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future lessons. And please give this video a big, happy, fat thumb. That will be really helpful. So let's give some shout outs. We have Barcelona, woohoo! Ricardo says bleachers are where people sit. I think that's American, if I'm being honest. I'm almost certain that's American. We have Leicester City, woohoo! We have Algeria. We have Manchester United. We have Real Madrid. We have Chelsea. We have Gremio. Never heard of them. Mo says, my mum, woohoo! We have Galatasaray, woohoo! Tottenham Hotspur, Corinthians from Sao Paulo, yay! I'm not a football fan actually, but I know many teams, great. We have Man City, we have Barcelona again, Arsenal, RUCH, I don't know them. Please talk about cricket. I'll do cricket another time. We have another Leicester City, Milan, AC Milan. We have Tottenham. We have Real and Atletico semi-finals. Is that happening soon, is it? Okay, I have Liverpool supporters here. I have UD Almeria, Santos. Lots of teams here I've never heard of. Nacional de Medellin. All right, so I said at the beginning I would tell you at the end who I am a supporter of, or was a supporter of. I don't really follow football anymore. And I follow England in the World Cup, but I used to support Man United because I was brought up in Manchester, and when you live in Manchester and you're raised in Manchester, you're either going to be a City fan or a United fan, and I'm a Red. I'm a Red. Red suits me, so I was a Man U fan, but I have to admit I can't really call myself a Man U fan anymore because I don't know who the players are, I don't know who the manager is, and so it would be unfair for me to say that I'm a Man U fan because I don't know the things I should know. Great, cool. So guys, that's our lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. I certainly learnt a few things. I hope you did too. If you do enjoy these sessions, let me know, and if there's anything in particular you'd like me to cover in the future, then put it in the comments box below. Serdar says, your husband is a fan of Palace. I don't have a husband, and the chap who walked past and said Crystal Palace is my housemate, not my husband. Okay, don't forget about the pronunciation lessons that I do every day on Instagram. And Instagram is a free app and it's fabulous for English learning. I'm there every day doing very short pronunciation classes, little videos. So come and join me there. The links for that is in the description box below, along with lots of other goodies, some freebies as well. And don't forget the $10 credit for italki. Remember, being fluent in English is helped hugely by having a teacher to work with you one-on-one, even if it's just a couple of lessons. And with those $10, you can get a whole lesson. So you just need to buy one lesson, you get one free basically. So do make the most of that if you're interested in doing that. It's a really great deal. Otherwise, I'm going to say goodbye. Oh, one of you said you didn't talk of the hooligans. Yes, so the word hooligan is usually attached to football quite often. A hooligan is a fan who causes damage and upset and violence So someone who might break the seats and hit somebody because they're angry about the football, and they might urinate in the street. That is a football hooligan, someone who does not respect the property or the other people or the environment. A football hooligan. All right, guys, thank you very much. I'm sorry if I didn't manage to read your comment. It's nothing personal. It's just there's so many comments coming through. It's very hard to keep up. I do appreciate all of you coming here. I'd love it if you could join me on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. I will be live again tomorrow doing the 10 minutes pronunciation that I do at the moment, that I'm doing every day here at the moment. So I also have over 100 videos already on this channel. So if you haven't seen them all, go and check them out. All right, guys, lots of love. Do be sure to check out all those links in the description below. Have a lovely day, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.